Hello there. Welcome to Blitz Transmissions. I'm Tommy, and welcome to episode 21 of the Blitzcast. Before we get into the content of this episode, as always, make sure to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed to Blitz Transmissions. I've got awesome Star Wars content coming out all the time. If you are an ARC Trooper in my Patreon, you would have seen this podcast episode early. If you'd like access to that and access to things like monthly giveaways and more, you can join that. The link is in the description below, as well as if you're just into action figures and you want to see some of my reviews early, access to my Rancor Battalion channel membership is also in the description, along with my social media, including my Discord, my Instagram, my separate Instagram page, Blitz Bounties for all my collection updates, and my X page. And with that, that's pretty much all I have for housekeeping. Back by popular demand, we have finally released him from the... We've released him from the dungeon. No, there actually have been multiple people requesting that you come back.
That's surprising, because all I hear from Hunter and Hybrid is, we don't like you on the show.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, we are here with the Napkin. The Napkin has been released from the dungeon for the first time in a while.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
Weeks and weeks.
You missed all of Skeleton Crew.
Yeah, I did.
Well, I guess first things first, Logan, how have you been? What's new?
I've been pretty good. The only Skeleton Crew fig I've picked up so far. I'm still looking for a Neo. I doubt I'll ever find one, but I picked up a Brutus.
It's good. It's a good one to pick up.
W figure.
Yeah. What's your take on Skeleton Crew? How'd you feel now that you finished?
I really liked it, and I was really happy with it.
Yeah. What do you give it out of 10?
9 big booms.
9 big booms out of 10. We won't do the 9 big booms.
Yeah, we will not.
Boom, boom. No, we're not actually gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aside from that,
Big
Logan
Justice on the show.
As a guest, as an interview. The Zog is also here today.
Yeah.
Commander Cody himself is in the room off to the side. So if you guys hear any kind of commotion going on or anything, right now he's being chill, laying down. He just gets really excited when his Unc Logan comes over to hang out.
Or does start geeking.
He loves to hang out. So, if I have to get up and leave abruptly, it's probably because he's getting into something he shouldn't be. But he's a good boy. So, right? Yep. You're a good boy. So we have a lot of Star Wars rumors to talk about this week. There's a lot going on in the Star Wars realm. Logan, I kind of want to get your take on a lot of this isn't necessarily news for this episode. We talked about it last week with Jen, but I'm sure that people want to hear your take. What do you feel about the rumors with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, including Embo being the main villain, Rhoda the Hutt will be in the movie?
I'm excited. I'm happy they're including different characters.
Okay.
Well, it's not really different. It's just characters you only really saw once.
Do you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, also, I'm very excited for Embo because he's always been one of my favorite characters in all of Star Wars. I can't even explain why. I just remember watching Clone Wars and thinking he was cool. Specifically, that one arc when they're with Serapis and the other guys.
Talking about
defending those villagers. Isn't Boba in that?
No, Boba's not in that
I thought he was.
But Embo does work with Boba later in the show.
Yeah, he does. But I'm excited for that. And then Rhoda is really big. I'm excited for that. And then aren't the Hutt twins in there?
Apparently, yeah.
I like how there's going to be a lot of Hutts in it.
Yeah.
Staying with the vibe.
Yeah, I agree. I think that a part of it will be cool.
Yeah.
It's cool to hear that someone's excited for it, because I've been hearing from a lot of my friends my age that they're not excited for the movie.
Well,
because of
they're all betas.
Dang.
It's all soft hands.
So we do have a lot of rumors piling up with a lot of different projects. The first one I want to talk about here, and this one is kind of brand new. I really don't know that much about it. I don't think anybody does. So recently on the channel I covered that Sean Levy, who worked on Deadpool and Wolverine,
movie,
he signed to get his own Star Wars movie or trilogy. No one really knows.
It's gonna be good.
And he allegedly is in cahoots with Ryan Gosling to have Ryan Gosling in his Star Wars movie. I don't
I'm a big fan of Ryan Gosling.
That's all I got on that.
He's really good in all the movies and shows he's in.
He's great in La La Land, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Movie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. I mean, I don't really understand the whole the concept that, you know, I heard people say there should be Star Wars actors should only be nobodies who this is their first big role.
I don't agree.
Since the very first Star Wars, you had big names. Sir Alec Guinness and Peter Cushing, the actors for Ben Kenobi and Grand Moff Tarkin, were huge names.
Never heard of them.
At the time.
Yeah.
And they were like big in like British theater and British films. Like, that, you know, Harrison Ford even at that time was a pretty big name because of American Graffiti and things like that. So to me, I don't understand the whole, you know, if they're a big name, they shouldn't be in Star Wars. They're too recognizable. If you're a good actor, it won't matter. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
But that's all I have on that one, Logan. It's pretty breaking news, actually, as we're recording this.
I don't get excited for any alleged Star Wars movies coming out, because I know they probably won't.
W opinion. Yeah, I actually made a video or two about that on the channel. I don't know about you, man. I'm sure you feel the same way. I'm just tired of looking at how many movies have been announced, whether it's officially or through like the Hollywood Reporter and things like that, or Variety.
I used to get excited because it's like Star Wars in theaters.
Yeah.
I just don't care anymore because they've announced so many.
Yeah.
Like, they announced too many to the point where it's obvious they're not coming out.
I feel like it's safe to start getting hyped for Mando and Grogu because they've already
We already know that's coming out.
They've wrapped filming. They're editing it now. So I'm hoping that, you know, that movie's good, and of course I'm hoping that we can get more Star Wars on the big screen, but I also don't want it to be garbage.
Well, hold on. We'll get Star Wars on the big screen because Revenge of the Sith 25th anniversary.
Revenge of the Sith 20th.
Thought it was 25th.
No, 25th was
Phantom Menace, right?
Fandom Menace.
I was close enough. I'm really excited to see that in theaters, though. Seeing Phantom Menace was really fun.
Yeah, that was fun to do.
It's like, you can't really imagine what the movie would be like in theaters. It's kind of hard sometimes.
Yeah.
Especially when you didn't see it, like, or weren't even live for it.
Right.
But, I don't know. It was really fun getting to see that. I mean, the literal Duel of the Fates was cool.
I agree. Yeah, for me, I think that I don't know. I'm pretty jaded with the Star Wars movies. As much of a Star Wars shill as I come off as when it comes to Star Wars movies anymore. As far as new ones go, yeah. I'm just very jaded by how many times we've been burned as the fandom.
Actually, can I say something? I'm thinking about
say whatever you want, dude. It's a podcast.
Skeleton.
Podcast. It's what we do. We talk.
Skeleton Crew was fun, but I kind of want just some genuine Star Wars at this point. I like the side things, like other parts of the universe. I just want straight story at this point.
So you want something a little more serious.
Yeah,
and
that's the kind of Star Wars I like. I don't really like the side stuff.
Okay.
Like, and that's with everything, not just Star Wars, with shows and especially. I like the main story. I like, sometimes I do like the side adventures. It's always fun.
Right.
You need a break from the main story. But when it drags on, or it's just that's constantly what they're making, I get sick of it.
I feel that. No, I feel that. And it's good. That's why I think Skeleton Crew was great, because it's the first thing in a while that hasn't been so heavy.
Yeah. And it was really good.
It was really good. Let me see. What else do we have to talk about? Oh, here's a big one.
Clone series.
Yeah, so there's rumors going around, and actually the reason that I found out about these rumors was through someone who allegedly, and we're calling it a rumor list as the action figure community right now, but it's a leak list they gave anonymously to Lukeness Monster on YouTube. Make sure to go check out Lukeness Monster, check out his video where he covers this entire leak list. So it's actually kind of crazy how this went down. So beginning of January, like first week of January, this random account that someone made an anonymous account specifically to message Lukeness Monster to hide their identity. It's
hard to believe if a random account.
Someone randomly messages you, and you know Lukeness is a guy. I think he's got like close to 20,000. I think he's got.
They probably want your credit card information at that point.
I think he's got like 15,000 subscribers. So he's not a small creator.
Yeah.
He's pretty big in the action figure like Star Wars community, specifically for like 6-inch figures. This person messaged him on Instagram and gave him this whole list and included stuff like, the Rory McCann is going to be taking over Baylan Skoll's role and blah blah blah.
I don't know who that is.
And he's the Hound in Game of Thrones.
I've never watched Game of Thrones.
Apparently, he's an actor that was friends with Ray Stevenson. Like, they were good friends, and that's part of the reason he took the role.
Well, that actually does make sense.
And I've heard that he's like a phenomenal actor. So
yeah, as long as someone can replace Baylan.
Yeah. They
Such
obviously
a good character.
They don't really look alike, but honestly, if you're a good actor, it doesn't matter.
They could also just make it so they don't really show his face as much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. So they were including things like that, but at the time, that news wasn't made public yet. So and stuff like, Embo is going to be in Mando and Grogu.
I don't know how they're going to do him live action. It's going to look weird.
And Lucas was like, well, I don't see any articles anywhere, so I'm just going to sit on this information. It's probably fake. And there was stuff
he has reasons.
And there was stuff in the leak list, too, that, like, seemed too good to be true. Like, they were saying that Pong Krell is coming and that the Hutt twins were coming. Like, that just doesn't seem, very believable. So
Pong Krell for Black Series or
Black Series?
Okay.
And the Hutt twins for Black Series.
They've never done a Hutt for Black Series.
They've done Jabba a couple times, but that's it. Yeah. So
why don't I see them on your shelf?
Because I don't collect OT. I'm not a loser. Not for my Black Series. I don't collect original.
You just made Monday Night Figure Ball very angry.
Shout out Monday Night Figure Ball.
Yeah.
So Lucas kind of sat on the list, and then a week later, then the articles start coming out from Variety magazine and Hollywood Reporter and all these things. Rory McCann is taking over as Baylan for Ray Stevenson as Baylan Skoll. Yep. And so now Lucas is like, whoa, wait a minute, like
check back up on it.
Yeah, and then like within the same week you had the reports that Embo is going to be the main villain for Mando and Grogu. So now Lucas is like, okay, I think there's some validity to this list. So then he recorded his video, put it out. So essentially that's where this rumor stems from.
W to whoever shared that list.
Yeah. And the rumor is that some action figures are being made for a new limited animated clone series.
I'm excited. That
takes place following the events of The Bad Batch Season 3. So
that's like a weird timeline, I feel like.
Now what I'm torn on is it going to be...
It's probably going to be like middle of the Empire.
Is it going to be a Tales of the Clones series? Or is it going to be like 6 10-minute episodes? Or is it going to be like 1 to 2 seasons
No, I don't think
of an actual show?
Or they will, because I mean, there's so many people that we just never hear from again in Clone Wars and stuff.
But I feel like I want a longer series, but I feel like they could wrap this up in a Tales of the Clones.
They could.
I mean, you do 3 episodes on Rex, you do 3 episodes on another clone.
They need to have Cody in there.
Yeah, like
we can't just have him walk away and then never see what happens. Even if he dies, I don't care. I just want to see what happened.
Yeah, to me, it's just like it just makes sense, like to do it as a shorter story.
Or how Wolf gets with Rex.
So that was the leak. Was that Commander Wolf is going to be redone and marketed as a figure from this new series.
I think his base figure's fine. I have it.
I think I would definitely buy another one though.
Yeah.
On if the new articulation. It look better,
yeah. The articulation is kind of buns, but it's a good looking figure.
No, it looks. I mean, I have it. It looks great. Yeah.
Even with helmet off, it looks good.
Yeah, but so I don't know. There's a lot. I did make a video on this on the channel. There's a lot that I would want from a series like this.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, I remember when the Bad Batch was coming out, a lot of people that I'm friends with were like, "Wait a minute, I want to see this story. I want to see."
But it's not that.
Yeah.
It's literally named them for a reason.
Right,
it's their show.
But I can understand people saying they wanted to see more of Rex's story. Hey, I got a Bad Batch shirt on.
Yeah.
They wanted to see more of the Bad Batch, Rex's story for how he is operating. And just because they saved the clones that were at Mount Tantus
doesn't mean there's not like other places like that.
Case in point, we saw Commander Wolf We literally saw he's
Yeah.
still working for the Empire with a unit of clone troopers. We don't know where Commander Cody is. I would love to see what he's up to.
I'm gonna say I like how Bad Batch Season 3 was amazing, by the way. I don't care.
Oh, I love the whole show. I love the whole show.
I don't like how people hate on Season 3s of every show.
That's why right now it's on my top row of shelves, because I love that show.
Goated show. Did they make the stealth armor?
No, they haven't.
They really should.
Fun fact, Hasbro has not done any Bad Batch Season 3 figures at all.
I'm just so out of the loop with figures.
Yeah.
I don't pay enough attention, but they should really make that. That would sell so easily.
They just, for Black Series, they just the other day revealed Anakin and Phase 1 Rex from the Ahsoka flashbacks.
I'm definitely buying that.
And the pre-orders sold out on Hasbro
Actually,
Pulse.
I'm not buying the Rex because I already have 2 different Rex figures. I'm not gonna. I refuse to buy repeats
what's
of a
he
figure.
chewing on?
I don't know.
What you got, bruh? I hope it wasn't anything toxic.
Well, he'll throw it up. So.
Oh, I'm gonna get yelled at. Okay, so oh, here he is. What's wrong, buddy?
The blog.
This is the Zog. Can you see him on camera? You see his nose. The Zog.
Please don't throw a temper tantrum.
Don't do it. Oh, he's here now. He's here to see Unk.
Hi, blog.
You can see the tail wagging on camera.
Don't bite my arm.
You can hear it. Oh. What are you
He's
doing,
geeked.
Bubba? Oh, now he's knocking the camera over. He's bowling a china shop. What's wrong, sir? Do you want to tell everyone how you feel about the new rumors that there is a new show coming out? We might see your namesake in this new show.
Do you want to tell everyone how bad the OT is?
Do you have a comment? Do you have a comment, sir? Anything to comment? No? Okay. Yeah, so aside from that, yeah, this is a show I honestly, and I want to see what happens to all these clones that are not with
Yes.
Rex, Gregor, and Wolf on I forget the name of the planet in Rebels. There's only 3 of them. Is that
Yeah.
because everyone else is dead, or did everyone else stay
Doing
on?
their own thing.
Everyone else stay on Pabu? Is that just the place they're gonna take?
I think we're gonna see Pabu get like annihilated.
I don't think so.
I think
it's
it
a
will.
remote little place. The Empire
Yeah.
has no reason to do anything there
Well,
because now
it's
that
the Empire.
now that Hemlock and all his research is gone.
Yeah, it's true.
There's no real reason to keep this hunt for these clones going. The clones were expendable anyway. It'd be a waste.
They
of
die
the,
way quicker than normal people. So
It'd be
it's not a problem.
Yeah, it'd be a waste of the Empire's resources.
Do not tickle my shins, thank you.
Now, I did mention this in my little video that I made. Something I would love to see from a series like this would be the establishment of something that was introduced in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, the Path. Where we kind of have a system of discreetly transporting Force-sensitive people and specifically Force-sensitive children. We see that in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
What did you just grab?
What did you get? What do you have?
I think it's like fuzz.
Oh, you're going to get stuck in the cord. This is why we don't bring the Zog in the room while we're podcasting. Right, Zog?
Hello, Bog.
But there's this. They also would move. Quinlan Voss was involved in this, and we know that Quinlan Voss has romantic ties to Asajj Ventress, who we
does?
saw. Yeah, that's the Dark Disciple book. It was a Clone Wars arc. You want me to fill you in on this? This is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So, this is why I think it's all going to connect. So, Asajj Ventress was brought into Bad Batch Season 3. And I think it was more than a cameo. A lot of times what Star Wars does is they'll bring a character into one series to either launch a spin-off or kind of foreshadow this character will come back later.
Yeah.
Asajj was more than just a plot device in Bad Batch Season 3. I think she's going to have more important story going forward. The Dark Disciple novel, which came out, I did like a book report on it in high school.
Seriously?
In my senior year of high school. Yeah, it's a Clone Wars arc that was adapted into a novel because when Disney bought Star Wars, there was this is going to make you mad. There were 8 or 9 seasons of the Clone Wars planned when Disney bought Star Wars and
We only got 7.
canceled the show, and they basically only were able to make 5.5 seasons. Because the 6th season, they just kind of took whatever was done for the 6th season and wrote it, and everything else just had to get scrapped. So the Darth Maul Son of Dathomir comics, where he escapes from Palpatine's prison and stuff, and then Gar Saxon That whole thing was supposed to be Clone Wars episodes, and that was made into comic books. Another great one is the introduction of the story between Quinlan Vos and Asajj. So this was adapted into a book called Dark Disciple.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, I'm just keeping my eyes on the dog here. Zog, what are you doing? Cody, do you hear Mommy's home? Do you hear Mommy? She's home, buddy. So anyway, sorry. So Dark Disciple. Essentially, Asajj is just kind of doing her own thing, like we saw her doing when she in the Ahsoka arc.
This is after she separates.
This is post season 5, where Ahsoka leaves the Order, and Asajj kind of helps her, and then Barriss steals Asajj's lightsabers. Asajj meets Quinlan. Quinlan's on a mission. They fall in love. Quinlan gets captured by Count Dooku, and Asajj sacrifices herself and dies. I'm watering it down a ton.
Doesn't she get like force lightning to death?
Yeah, to dust, literally to dust. And she saves
Quinlan Vos has that riz.
She saves Quinlan's life though. So Quinlan takes her ashes to Dathomir and pours them into a Night Sister well. And it's very heavily alluded to in the Bad Batch that Asajj came back to life. And that's because I think it's directly tied to her
Freak sister magic.
To the Night Sister magic.
Night Sisters are awesome.
And she has the yellow lightsaber, which is oftentimes connected to like rebirth in Star Wars, even though canonically the lightsabers don't have any meaning canonically.
That's stupid. They all have meaning.
Yeah, the blade colors technically don't have meaning, but yellow is symbolic of rebirth.
Then why do temple guards have it?
Because they're reborn as temple guards. Like that's the idea. Is like this is your new calling in the Order.
That makes sense.
So my whole point with all that, it was such a I had to explain it to get to Obi-Wan says that Quinlan Vos was involved in the path in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. And Quinlan Vos and Asajj have a romantic tie. Asajj has already pre-established good relations with Ahsoka, has good relations with the Bad Batch, and they have relations with Rex and those guys.
Wasn't Quinlan planned to die in Revenge of the Sith? He had a death scene, I'm pretty sure.
Luminara did on Kashyyyk. I don't know if Quinlan did.
I don't think it was on Kashyyyk, but I remember I saw a video. It was like there's 2 turbo tanks. One turns around and just blasts him.
Yes, yeah. They're on the planet Boss Pity.
Yeah, stupid name.
So all that to say, I would like to see this clone series kind of give the clones another purpose, because there are clones like the ones on Tantus.
I want to see a clone working at Target.
There are clones like the ones on Tantus that have been tortured and they just don't want to fight anymore. But there are clones like Rex, like Echo, like Hauser, like Gregor
that can fight,
want to keep fighting and want to help continue to free their brothers. For clones who have this deep calling, I think the path is a great way to explain what happens to a lot of these troopers over the course of the next 18 years until we get to A New Hope. And we see Luke Skywalker and things like that.
Yep.
And it's already something that's been established. And, we've had Obi-Wan Kenobi's been out for a few years now, which is kind of wild to think about. It's been out for that long already.
It's ridiculous.
I think it'd be a great show idea, and it would make it more than just a 6-episode Tales of the Clones.
Yeah.
You could have a lot more characters. You can include other characters, like we established in Tales of the Jedi, that Bail Organa and Ahsoka Tano have been in cahoots since like right after the events of Revenge of the Sith at Padme's funeral. So I think there's a lot of characters that you can bring in from a lot of different backgrounds. Also, you're trying to tell me that the Empire's not going to try and assassinate Senator Chuchi for trying to speak up for the clone troopers in the Senate? I gotta see what happens to her character. I have a feeling that she's gonna get brought.
I'm happy we got to see her again.
And also, there's the senator from was it season 2?
Is another blue person?
No. Do you remember the senator who was on the Separatist planet in the Bad Batch, and the Empire's like, we're taking over, and he's like, no, you're not, and then they try to have him killed, and the Bad Batch have to go save him, and they have the whole dilemma because he was a Separatist, and they didn't want to go,
so.
But Sid wanted them to go. Okay. I don't remember if it was Raxus. It might have been Raxus, the planet, the Separatist capital.
Yeah, I know.
It's a whole thing. That guy shows up again in season 3, and Rex and Hauser and their clone unit have to basically save him from dying.
Yeah.
From being assassinated by the sleeper cell clones. I think that was also a foreshadowing.
I thought those clones were lame.
The sleeper cell clones?
Especially when we saw those, the special squad.
Oh, dude.
Those are way cooler than those assassin clones.
I think we're going to see more of that kind of stuff, though, if this new series comes
100%.
out. I think this will be a thing. But I think, again, that whole plot point was to foreshadow that could be something the clones are doing going forward. Is they're soldiers. They're specially trained. They can go in and extract people like senators, people like important figures that the Empire might be trying to have killed or have removed.
Yeah.
So they can keep these people safe. And that's how you're going to build a network, you know? And it also would help establish how Ahsoka becomes Fulcrum. Because we know by the end of Tales of the Jedi that she is in cahoots with Bail.
Yeah.
But I want to see that connection finished.
She's playing Kahoot with Bail.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're in the Kahoot lobby together.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much all I got there. I want to see how Commander Wolf gets in touch with...
I am excited to see how they actually get together.
Mm-hmm. So that's a show.
Remember when we had that ATTE Lego set and then I broke it?
We didn't have an ATT. Oh!
I fell over it.
We were playing Nerf guns, and you broke it.
I fell over it. It took you hours to build. I remember that. That was bad. Cool, really cool Lego set, though. Do you remember the, I'm thinking about Legos now. I don't want to change the entire podcast into Legos. I've been really big into Legos. Mm-hmm. I've been seeing old sets appear.
Did you build your Tantive 4 yet?
Yeah, I already built that.
Nice.
That was the first thing I built. Awesome.
Nice.
I love those anniversary sets. I have the Invisible Hand in that one.
Yeah, they did the Acclamator Republic cruiser in January. I'll show you.
Is that a light cruiser?
No, it's like the middle-sized one. It's more of like a transport.
Oh.
I'll show you. There's a lot of them in Attack of the Clones.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Here.
Isn't it the ones that are in 03?
It's called the Acclamator class transgalactic military assault ship.
Yeah, those are in 03, right?
Yeah.
Those ones that float on the water with whatever his name is. Tentacle
Kit
Head.
Fisto.
Yeah.
Tentacle Head.
I just forgot his name.
Tentacle Head.
Fit Kisto.
Wow, Glupshido Jedi. Literally though, that's what they are though.
Glupshido.
So okay, we've established that we would be in on a show like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously it's clones. Anything clones I'm in on.
Clone!
I want a gray one. I want a blue one. I want a purple one.
Get a load of this guy.
I want a red one.
I think we need to talk about something.
Let's talk about
You've already talked about it. I've seen the video. It's that Old Republic show.
What are your thoughts on that?
You know I'm excited for it. And you've seen my comment under that video. I know barely anybody is going to be excited for it, but I really want it to come out.
No, my point is with that video, I want it to be a thing, but I don't think that...
It's going to be the best choice.
I don't think Lucasfilm right now is capable of choosing the right people who are knowledgeable enough about that intensely lore-rich part of Star Wars. I mean, dude, it's been being built on for over 20 years now. That's not,
That stuff is so fun, though.
Yeah.
Like, why don't they just watch the trailers and make something similar to that stuff?
Well, and here's my other thing, too, is with the sequel trilogy, the only difference was a lot of people clung to stuff that was written in books in the 90s. This was 20 years later.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, dude, Knights of the Old Republic, The Old Republic is still being given new content and lore and game expansions to this day.
I thought I was an Old Republic fan for the longest time. I'm like a surface level fan. I only know so much. Mm. There's characters I've never heard of. There's whole wars I've never heard of.
It's wild.
I used to watch videos on the Sith, their backstory specifically.
Yeah.
The only one that I remember really well watching, because I watched it so much, I was really curious about Nihilus.
Nihilus is
That would
crazy.
be cool if they made a show with him in it somehow.
But he's so OP.
I know, but they still should.
He's so OP.
Still should.
But then again, though, it's video games are kind of supposed to be kind of exaggerated because it's the visual spectacle.
Just don't make a Minecraft movie, kind of.
I watched an interview where Sam Witwer talked about the Force Unleashed, and because a lot of people, and obviously I share this opinion that Starkiller would never work in Star Wars canon.
Bro literally killed Obi-Wan's Force Ghost.
My big thing, and I know people bring that. Yeah, he killed a Force Ghost. He literally rips a Star Destroyer out of the sky.
He kills all the main characters.
But I guess Sam Witwer was saying that Dave Filoni and George Lucas were throwing around making him an Inquisitor and bringing him into canon. That's not
gonna work.
I mean, it would make sense in the current canon, make him an Inquisitor.
I guess, but he's too strong.
But I don't know, I kind of think it would be cool to make him an Inquisitor that Vader was took a liking to and secretly started training him.
Yeah.
He would have to die. But Sam Witwer says in that interview, obviously he would need to be dumbed down
very heavily
because video games are such a spectacle,
You're meant to win.
Yeah, you're meant.
There's rarely ever a time where you're supposed to lose.
You're supposed to be wow, that was incredible. That's this larger than life thing that even for Star Wars these characters do. But Old Republic, I think they need to get the right people in the creative side of it. If they don't have people that are extremely knowledgeable and extremely appreciative of the pre-existing lore and the characters and how the characters act and how they talk, it will really...
I just thought of something. They're technically not clones, but those Marines.
Yeah, the Old Republic army. Yeah.
Yeah. If they somehow incorporated that into the Tales of the Clones, one of the first episodes, they go from the origins of all of the clone troopers.
Yeah.
And then they could make a second season or just make the first season pretty long.
Yeah.
Which I doubt they'd do that, but still. They could make it so it goes through time on stories of clones we didn't hear about. We could have one episode about it would just be episodes of them, so I guess the show wouldn't be that long, maybe 10 plus episodes. Mm-hmm. At the least 10, I feel like. But, they could go through, and then we could get the stories with, Cody, Gregor, Wolf, Rex.
That'd be cool. So that's pretty... Did you have anything else you wanted to say on the Old Republic? On the Old Republic thing?
I've already made my peace with that show.
Okay.
It either is not going to come out, or it's going to come out and not do well.
Right now, I feel like if they get the right people, it could be done well.
It's only because not a lot of people know about it.
Right. So the last rumor that I have here, and this is arguably the biggest one, especially for us as prequel kids.
Who is us?
You grew up with
kid.
the Clone Wars. That's true. That's a good point. Woke! The
only one I'm proud of is The Force Awakens. I'm not a fan of the other ones. I don't hate them. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, I can agree. The Force Awakens is probably the best of the three.
Not a fence rider like Hunter either.
Fence rider, a good friend.
Good fan.
A good fan.
Metal endoskeletons.
So there are rumors going around with the Ahsoka season 2. First rumor a few weeks ago. I'm being licked by the dog on my arm right now. Thank you,
Schizo
sir.
dog.
That was very nice. Oh, do you have something to say about the Old Republic show being on Disney Plus, Cody? Do you have something to say? Go ahead, say something. No, nothing? Nothing from the words of the wise?
He is the wisest.
Nothing. Okay. I hope that this doesn't mess with the mic. that I
Just gonna
keep
hear
moving
his
it.
constant.
And he's gone. So the original rumors came out that Hayden Christensen was coming back to reprise his role as Anakin Skywalker in Ahsoka Season 2. I feel like that wasn't a surprise.
Yeah.
And I don't even think I reported on it on the pod because...
Nobody's surprised in this household.
Well, because he's already been established. I mean, he's in the final
Yeah.
shot of Season 1.
I'm happy to see that he still is in Star Wars.
I know Hayden loves it. I know he loves it.
He's also happier because he's actually getting appreciated for the stuff he's in.
Yeah.
So.
I'm interested to see him guiding Ahsoka through Season 2.
Yeah.
But then rumors started coming out. Now this may have stemmed from Ewan McGregor saying at a convention.
Owan.
Oh, I'm sorry, Owan McGregor. Ewan McGregor said at a convention last year he would love to do an Obi-Wan Season 2, and he would love to wear the Clone Wars armor and have that early seasons Clone Wars look.
I'm
of
so
Obi-Wan
happy
Kenobi.
that's coming from him.
Yeah. And so, of course, I don't think an Obi-Wan Season 2 is warranted.
It's not going to take off.
I don't even know what they could do.
Nobody was really a fan of it. I'm sad because I like that show.
Well, the problem was that show was supposed to be a movie, and then they made it into a limited series. It was never supposed to be a multi-season.
It was so good, and people hate on it for what?
I think it's okay. It's not my favorite personally, but
I think it's
also
my top 3 shows
Dang.
of just Star Wars.
I mean, it has some
Live action Star Wars specifically.
I will say, when it comes to Obi-Wan Kenobi, they really did Darth Vader well. They really...
I'm always happy to see someone doing Darth Vader well. I don't like OT Vader.
He's
slow.
Yeah.
Like, they make him too slow. I get it. He's not... Bro can barely move his arms up. Like, he's struggling in the suit. It's really painful for him. But he shouldn't be moving like he's a 80-year-old man that has back problems.
Well, it was just the technology they had at the time.
Yeah, it's not their fault, but at the same time, it just... I don't know.
Logan's a despiser.
Not a despiser. I just prefer New Vader.
Anyways, so I also prefer New Vader. So the rumors started...
It's like comic Vader.
The rumors started rolling around that Ewan McGregor was going to come back.
Yeah.
And reprise his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi for Ahsoka Season 2. Well, then rumors started rolling around that apparently Dave Filoni reached out to Natalie Portman to reprise her
Juan and Tally.
To reprise her role. Reprise her role. Say that 7 times fast.
Yeah.
As Padme Amidala in Ahsoka Season 2. And I guess it went as far as, Natalie Portman was actually in talks of doing it. It went beyond the I would like her to do this phase. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, what could this mean?
That's the OG Star Wars baddie.
No, Leia is the OG Star Wars baddie. Don't even.
Cap.
Don't even.
Cap. Get off your phone, dude.
So, brother. So I gotta say, I don't know where this could go. Like with the show, what do you have? Do you have any thoughts on what this could mean, other than just like a Clone Wars flashback? Because I don't think that they would do a flashback just for the sake of doing a like in Ahsoka Season 1.
What are you getting at? Because I mean, Padme's kind of dead. So they have to do a flashback if she's in anything.
I'm saying, what purpose would it serve the story? Because
nothing, which is cool.
In Ahsoka Season 1, the reason for the flashbacks is so that Anakin can teach Ahsoka a lesson and help her find the strength and the determination to continue to live instead of just giving up. And my first thought, Logan, is, could this connect the world between worlds, which has already been a pretty big part of this show, and maybe Peridia is a place in the galaxy where you can access the world between worlds like Lothal?
I don't agree. I think the world between worlds should be left as its own thing. I don't think it should be accessed that easily.
Well, that's what so you got to hear my theory on the whole season. So I think ultimately Ahsoka is going to stay behind on Peridia, and she's 100%. Going to open the world between worlds long enough for Sabine and Huyang to get out on the shuttle. Or maybe not on the shuttle. Maybe they'll just escape and get back to the galaxy, and she's going to be holding off Abeloth. Because this is my theory.
But that's like an ant versus like a 50,000 foot tall like robot. That's not fair.
Hang on. So in the finale of Ahsoka season 1, when Baylan Skoll is standing on the finger of the statue of the father of the Mortis gods,
there's the crashed mom statue.
The daughter's head is cut off.
That's not the mom, yeah.
Yeah. So daughter is not. So what that reads to me as the presence of the daughter is not there right now, and it's needed on this planet. Ahsoka is the embodiment of the daughter because Morai is on Peridia. We see at the end of the finale, and we saw in the Clone Wars. If you watch the Mortis arc, you know that Ahsoka was resurrected through the life force of daughter.
Yeah,
and I think that Ahsoka needs to essentially take that place and balance the Force in Peridia so that Abeloth is not able to be unleashed by Baylan Skoll onto the galaxy to destroy everything. And I think that would be a satisfying way to end Ahsoka's story.
I don't think that Abeloth should be included in Star Wars canon. Not really. Is she already?
That's where I think this show is going. I
just don't think she should be included. I think it's way too much.
You think it's OP?
I think it should be hinted. I don't think she should have like full scenes.
I think what's going to happen is Abeloth.
I just disagree with the absolutely overpowered characters being in Star Wars.
Well, I think Abeloth is probably like can't take physical form, and I think Shin Hati looks a lot like Abeloth, like drawings and illustrations of her. I think Abeloth is going to possess Shin's body
probably
and use her as a conduit.
That would be a better way.
Yeah,
because I'm just not a fan of like a big old thing floating in the sky.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like a Sauron thing where it's like an eye on a tower, and that's kind of what we've been alluded to in the season finale of the first season.
Bro's literally just a Skylander.
Bro, I gotta show Zog real quick, guys. You gotta see my dog.
Blog.
Look at Cody. Cody, you should look at the camera. Look at. It's my buddy.
Our buddy.
That's
communism.
The Zog. And now the camera's all messed up. That's what happens.
Zog.
I had to show him. All this to say, I could see it going one of two ways. I could see additional flashbacks maybe to help Sabine learn a little bit more about Ahsoka.
Flashbacks are really necessary in shows, I feel like.
And I also feel like the flashbacks.
Depends on how you set it up.
I also feel like the flashbacks could be used to help Ahsoka. Yeah, it's got to be something. I don't think it's going to be just like, oh, remember Clone Wars? Oh, Clone Wars is so cool. Clone Padme. Like, it's Dave Filoni. It's going to have meaning on top of, yes, there will be the cool moments like in season 1. Captain Rex being in there was only fan service. Yeah. But I think that doing it, the whole meaning of the scene itself was very profound. And that's essentially what I'm getting at here.
I feel like if Captain Rex wasn't in it, it would be weird. You always saw him with Anakin.
Yeah. And I mean, I was talking to 212th Hunter. It'd be cool if we saw Rex and Cody, if we're seeing Obi-Wan.
Hunter always has to include Cody.
I actually suggested it. Oh. Yeah. But
now I feel real stupid. I know I'm going to get bullied in the Xbox.
Hunter's going to come after you for that one, dude, when he hears this one.
He's in the fog of war. It's fine.
He's in the fog of war. His scarab is actually actively healing passively right now.
So stupid.
Anyways, if you play Halo Wars 2, you'll know the references we're making.
This nerd deleted it.
I will never play that game again.
Trash can.
Yeah, so, I mean, who knows, though? It could all... When it comes to rumors, guys, just keep in mind, it could just take it all...
It's called a rumor for a reason.
Yeah, take it with a grain of salt. It could be wrong. Things can change between now and then. I know Dave Filoni just finished writing Ahsoka Season 2, so, there could be rewrites that need to happen. They still need to film the whole thing. We don't know. Unfortunately, terrible things happen to actors and actresses all the time, during the filming of
Daisy Ridley
of Empire, Mark Hamill got in a terrible car accident, had to get reconstruction surgery to do his face, and that's why they had.
I didn't even know that,
and that's why he gets injured by the Wampa in the movie. That's actually why that happens.
Wow.
Because he had scars on his face that never healed. So, things happen, and again, very unfortunately, Ray Stevenson passing away before the release of season 1.
The GOAT just had to leave.
It was very unexpected passing, and Carrie Fisher passed away in the midst of the sequel trilogy. It's very sad. It's very unfortunate. These things happen a lot, though, and it just, these actors and actresses are people just like the rest of us, and, life happens, things happen, and...
Yep. There's no reboot cards in real life.
But with that said, Logan, do you have anything more that you want to talk about when it comes to these rumors?
Just these rumors?
Yeah.
I always take like you were just saying, with a grain of salt. I never actually fully trust them unless it's like, we know for a while this has been talked about.
Yeah, yeah.
I kind of start to trust it when it keeps getting brought up for like a long time, even though like there's no real progress. It's just going to be a long, like, winded thing, but it has a chance of coming out if they're actually thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things I've gotten excited for and then just bummed when I hear it's not happening.
Yeah. Aside from that, is there anything else that you want to say before we end this episode of the Blitzcast, Logan?
I'm going to drop it real quick. I was just thinking about this. Honestly, in the sequels, I think... If they took more time to develop Rey, it would have been better. I don't think she should have been included at all. I think Finn should have been the main character.
I'm just gonna
drop that real quick.
Actually, fun fact about the Rey movie. Apparently, that's been just
paused or canceled,
shelved indefinitely, because something
Graves' disease.
Well, something happened with the writer, Charmin Obaid-Chinoy. Something happened. I don't know if she got fired or she walked or...
Dude, that movie could have helped her so much. Well, actually, I don't know. Who knows what they would have done with it. It had the chance to help her.
Well, and what's happening with that movie right now is a prime example of why I'm not having any anticipation for the Sean Levy movie announcement.
Which it will be amazing if it actually does come out.
I would love to see it come out, but I have no hope for any of this because it's like... I'm not going to get into it. I've made so many videos already talking about it, but it's just, you guys know by now if you watch this channel, you know how I feel about it. But yeah, it's such a shame. I mean, I think Rey deserves
justice,
a well thought out, well written story, because I don't hate.
They rushed with the last two movies. Force Awakens set up everything, and then they just threw it all in the trash. Well, not all of it, but most of it. The problem was that the directors and the writers of the movies didn't talk to each other. Didn't talk to. They talked 3-a. Yeah.
And
talked 4-a.
It was just a mess because people's personal visions didn't align with what each other wanted for the characters in the story. It is what it is. Do you have anything else you want to add, Logan? On any of this? Anything?
I'm excited for the Mando movie.
Mando and Grogu. 2026 is going to be a big year if all goes to plan. We're supposed to get Mando and Grogu and Ahsoka Season 2 in 2026.
When does Andor Season 2 come out real quick?
In April of this year.
So hyped because I finally finished that show like a while ago now. But
Isn't the ending so good?
I needed to let it cook. I was hating way too early.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think it's going to be it. Logan, take us out.
Make sure you follow this trash can Lord Farquaad looking on all of his socials. Join the Discord. Like and subscribe. Join...
The channel membership.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, Patreon, because I forget you have that stuff now. Definitely join those, because it's recent stuff. And follow this clown on Instagram. Follow him on Twitter or X. Same thing. But, yeah.
All right, guys. That's going to be all for this episode. I'm going to evacuate my thorax. And we'll catch you guys for the next one. May the Force be with you.
Breaking off. All units, fire at will. 1-2, pick a target. Too many, Captain. Watch your stabilizer, Gold 6. Anybody cover me. I got 2 vultures on my tail. Gotta hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them. I'm hit. Where's our reinforcements?